demons. Put my shit in the car, then I moved to Atlanta. Y'all thought it was sightseeing. Yes, I was stressed for the time being. Wake up, little nigga, it's grind season.
On this episode, we got my boy Visual Rides, a black entrepreneur and roots in the hip hop.
Let's get it started. You know what it is, y'all. It's Grind Season TV. I'm with my boy Visual Rides over here. What's going on, man?
What's good? Grind TV, pleasant to be here. You know, I've been waiting for a long time. You know, my boy Rich now, I can't even skid him no more.
Nah, I've just been busy, man. We've been working. Well, let the people know your name because everybody want to call you Visual Rides. You want them to know your real name, or should they just call you Visuals?
Man, just call me Visual, man. No need for governments, you know.
So I know you a businessman. You outside of this, we really good friends, smoke cigars, stuff like that together. But let the people know about your humble beginnings before you became this big entrepreneur.
Well, you know, those who know, but for those of y'all who don't, grew up in Brooklyn for the most part. Just like, you know, no, my story isn't different from any other, you know, successful black man one way or another. I came from humble beginnings, best way to put it. I've been through some of the, you know, trials, tribulations, just like every other black man growing up in the ghetto hood, whatever you want to call it. I went through all that, and there was a turning point in my life where I decided it had to be something better, and so I took, you know, the street smarts as well as the, you know, intellect I had, and I put it to use, and, you know, I got into real estate, did some real great things in real estate. I'm still doing real estate, and then, you know, I went into, you know, the car business. I had a couple of used car lots for a while, both in Rochester as well as in Atlanta, did well in that, and then I left that, and, you know, hence Visual Rides LLC. That's how that's born.
So Visual Rides LLC, explain that to the people that don't know exactly what it is.
Okay, so Visual Rides LLC, obviously the name has a legal standing, which is a legal corporation, which is a limited liability corporation for those of y'all that understand legal structuring. But the company name is Visual because how I got started was in Atlanta and New York, where I grew up. I actually used to do talent management. Me and my brother Chris, we used to actually manage MIMS. So a lot of times with artists, they got to get their visuals right, hence visuals. So cars, women, houses, etc. We used to shoot some of the dopest videos, and I will always provide some of those things. So people will always ask me like, yo, bro, you always got these things available. You might as well let me hold something, provide it to everybody else who need it, because dudes either didn't have the credentials or they didn't know how or where to go get it. So that's really hence how the company started. It was all about visuals, the cars, the women's, you know, the houses, the yachts, you name it. That's pretty much where the company's headed towards, you know, yachts, private jets, things of that nature, not just cars. So cars is just the first phase of what we actually do. So that's why I named the company Visuals. It's all about, you know, the visuals, and LLC is the structuring of the company, that's all.
Okay, that make a lot of sense. And then you was trying to show the youth, especially black youth, because you brought up a lot of being wokeness in there, even though we ain't gonna get too much until we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
We're not ready for that.
Not all that yet, but what you're doing is something innovative, because a lot of the times our entrepreneurs or CEOs are usually business related or entertainment related, such as artist management, record label. So what you're doing is not a record label. It's not even related to movies. As far as like a movie producer, you're doing something that is considered more of a service or asset in some kind of way.
Correct. So we are in the service industry, no different than what Hertz or Enterprise is doing. We're just doing it at a whole another different level. We're strictly exotics, which is really what I envisioned about the company. Because as well as you know, in New York, you know, these things are literally as a lifestyle. Hence, the company is a lifestyle. You see Maseratis, you see Bentleys running around. So for me, I don't know about y'all, but when I grew up in New York, I grew up in Brooklyn. You know, I grew up in Bed-Stuy, and then my family originally moved back to the west side of Brooklyn, which is actually over by, you know, Eastern Parkway, Nordstrom, St. John's area. And over there, we got the Brooklyn Bridge. So me and my little brother, my youngest little brother, we used to go to the bridge and play That's My Car. So it was inspiring when we was young to see, you know, Maseratis and Lamborghinis running around in a place where it was desolate. You couldn't dream. So when we saw that, for me, that was always my vision. Like, I don't care. I'm going to make it. I'm going to get one of those. now I own a whole bunch of them. So the point of why I did, what I did as far as the car company and everything else was to show a lot of the young kids that stuck in environments where they think they can't come out of. We all been in the mud, and we all at some point have come out. If you look at some of the people who I revere, like Jay-Z's and some of the well-named, well-known entertainers that have turned or transitioned from just not only entertainment aspect to truly business entrepreneurs. That's really what I kind of, mimic my vision after, and, made it happen.
No, that's dope, and that's incredible for what you're doing. But you talked about being Mim's manager for a minute. We can't let that go. This is Ronzi. We about hip hop over here, so for y'all that don't know, Mims this is why I'm high. If you want to call him the one-hit wonder, go ahead. But Mims still made it.
That boy is involved in so much things, it's not even funny. But yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about how you and Mims, man, and how you started the whole managing with him thing.
Well, all right, you making me talk about things I really don't want to talk about. But hey, listen, we keeping it real. We keeping it real. So I'm just gonna keep it real. So, all right, so my brother Chris was really the mastermind behind the situation. I was more so the silent guy behind the situation. Some of y'all can understand what that means.
Like Biggs.
Yeah. You got it. So my brother Chris, shout out to Captain. He has his own label that we started called Cosign. Now it's actually one of the biggest underground labels actually in Connecticut. And so that was the first label that Mims was signed to, was Cosign. So my brother and I, and along with other, a couple of good dudes that was behind the project, actually started out doing 3 records. And out of those 3 records, the biggest one that actually landed the ears and eyes of major labels was This Is Why I'm Hot. All right, and so that's how that really started, and thus henceforth managed him for a little while until he decided that, he wanted to do something a little bit different. Yep. Some of us went other places, and that's really how that story came about.
And that's true. Literally, I'm at a loss for words. Literally, say I'm over here stumbling on my words and stuff because it just shows. Like, and you are from Brooklyn, so it's not far-fetched that you know Mims, but how people just know people.
Right.
And the whole entertainment thing, like what made you go away from the entertainment thing to focusing on something like real estate or like going into a service-related company?
Well, I'll say for anything, for the most part, any true entrepreneur, for me as a black man, I'm also a comedic, which you already know, others don't know, but I'm a comedic, and I believe controlling my own destiny. I damn sure don't like leaving my destiny, and nobody's saying, I don't care who you are, I want to control my own destiny. And with the entertainment industry, there's so many people at the helm that control really what comes out, how it comes out, and how much you get paid. And for me, being a true entrepreneur who got it out the mud, I couldn't let nobody control that. And so I decided for myself that I had to find other industries, other arenas that would help me facilitate my dream and accomplish what I want to accomplish financially. Because honestly, as black people, you never can be free unless you're financially free, which means that I don't do what I do for money. I do what I do so I can be free to do what the hell I want to do, go where I want to go. And that's pretty much the reason why I went to real estate. Real estate gives you that. It don't care whether or not you've been locked up. Real estate don't care whether or not, you're a son of a millionaire. Real estate don't care if you was born poor. All real estate knows is if you got the means to accomplish it, to do it, you can get rich overnight. Simple as that. The reason why I went to those kind of things.
And that's truly understandable and remarkable. So you basically, because a lot of people want to be artists, and a lot of people that watch my show know we about hip hop, and I have nothing but love for the artists. But they don't understand the numbers. When you break them down to, like, they say an artist signed this $1 million deal, you're not really getting $1 million.
No, residuals and points and, so what happens is a lot of times, like you said, it's all about numbers, just like anything really related to business is about numbers. Numbers have to make sense. Just because you sign to a major label, you can sit on a shelf for over 4 or 5 years, nothing fruitful comes up, and the label lets you go. So just because an artist is signed does not mean that they're actually making money. What makes the difference is the type of deal that they sign. Is it a publishing deal? Is it more so of a one single deal? Is it an LP deal? Like, a lot of dudes have to understand the in and out of business, and I think especially us as black people, you know, we tend to go into these different arenas, these little caveats of businesses that we don't understand the different perspectives as it relates to truly understanding numbers. So if you're gonna sit and sign a deal with a major label, you better understand what points you're getting, right? And what your advancement actually means. So when they put you in those nice cars to go to your interview, to sit with Sway, all these different individuals, right? Those are overheads for the label. Label wants that back before you get a penny, before you get that check. You know, so you have to understand what the numbers actually mean. Whether you're getting 10 cents on a dollar for every, you know, every CD that actually sells. So you have to understand all those numbers. And I think that's the biggest problem. Not that they're not talented, but they don't know numbers.
Exactly, understand the business. And if we get into streaming is a whole different beast of how it's robbing artists.
Publishing and ASCAP and BMI. If you really don't know ASCAP and BMI, do your research if you're truly an artist, because that's where you get robbed if you don't have that.
Exactly. But we talk a lot about financial freedom and financial literacy. Have you ever thought about going into doing some of that teaching on your own, apart from the visual rise and the real estate business that you do?
Well, it's funny you should say that, which I think is a setup, because you already know that a lot of people don't know, but I actually hold a degree in Africana Studies. And so I also am an adjunct professor. But yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm actually planning is the next phase of mine, to actually teach a lot of things that I learned, because a lot of these things that, you know, I learned and actually implemented to help me, you know, financially become free, they don't give this stuff to you free. And so for me, I'm all about, you know, Black excellence and building Black wealth, et cetera, et cetera. And so I definitely am working on with a couple of good brothers, you included, another good brother, Paulie, real educated, has his own business. A couple of different brothers, right. Shout out to Blackwire Solutions. That's not the only thing he does. True entrepreneur as well too. So a lot of good brothers. Tim, you know, we working to create an actual entrepreneur school for young Black men where they can come and learn how to truly become free, because just because the shackles off your feet don't mean it's off your brain. So learn the difference.
Okay. Now back to the visual rise stuff, because we bounced around a little bit. We got to, because there's so much stuff to cover and so little time. So behind us, we have some of the visual rise dolls. You want to explain to us how they incorporate in the business?
Well, let them talk about that. she back there talking about no.
You don't even want. I'm just. It's just that kind of time.
Say hi, girls. Well, hello, visual dolls.
Hi.
All right. So how basically the concept of the visual dolls actually came out was, we understand that hence the company name is visual. It's visual for a reason, that men, we are truly, you know, this is a little bit of psychology. Men, we are visual creatures. We love to see, feel, and touch things, no matter what those things are. We love to feel, see, and touch them. So women are a little bit more visually appealing as it relates to whether it be storytelling. In the village, it was always the not actually the elders, but it was the women that actually taught the stories to the children, right? Because it was way more receptive to kids, and hence the same thing as it relates to business. It's been proven a fact that men are more receptive to women as they're actually either trying to promote or market a specific business. And so that was the idea behind the visual dolls. We've got beautiful cars. Why not add beautiful women to them? So technically they act as the agents of the company to really help spread what the company is about. And truly, you can go through them as well too, to purchase or to book a vehicle. It's just much more pleasing than dealing with a Negro who might have an attitude booking you for a car. So that's really how the concept, you know, came about.
And that's why people go to visuals and not go to Hertz or Enterprise, because
right.
you don't want to deal with
beautiful car, beautiful women. You want to deal with people at the kiosk.
Yes. So, just sort of for the feminists out there, we are not disrespecting the ladies. We love the women. It's just, like you said, it's a psychological thing and a marketing tactic. That's all it is.
Correct.
So, dang, we talked about a lot of things in so short periods of time. Is there anything you want people to really know, though?
In reference to what the company itself?
To the company, to what you stand on, anything that you want them to know, how you feel about the current state of hip-hop, all that stuff.
Hip-hop to me, you know, one thing I've learned, especially growing up in the home of hip-hop, you know, New York, period itself, in the Bronx, especially growing up in the home of hip hop, one thing I've learned is that most things, right, in life either is progressing or is dying. And so a lot of times I hear people say, oh, it's mumble rap, it's this, it's that. And I say, no, it's just transitioning, right? It's just growing, because if it didn't grow and stayed the old art that it was, then it would die out. And so shout out to the young kids that's finding different ways to, whether metaphorically, transition the craft. I respect it. It's their version of storytelling. You can't hate on that. And so for me, the current state of hip hop, some of the stuff I really don't agree with the subject matters. I don't relate to the subject matters, but it's an art, and I respect the art. Art is art, and you just have to respect it for what it is, and that's just how I see it. I respect the young kids that's doing what they're doing, how they're doing. As long as they're successful with it, that's all really that matters.
And that's what it is. It's about creating opportunities, because we come from places where there's not too many opportunities.
Right.
And these guys just think that you got to live this one way of life, like you said before. We all come from the mud some kind of way.
Right.
It's other means too.
Indeed. And as it relates to the company, like I said, this is just one phase of what we do. It's not just about the cars. That is one phase, but we want to be the all premier one-stop shop for everything Black affluent, because everybody else do it, and no disrespect, doesn't mean I hate anybody else's culture or race. It just means that, especially where I'm at in Atlanta, in New York, we network a lot, and it's about really connecting the dots for those that look like us. So we want to be the one-stop shop for not just cars, but if you're looking for a private yacht to, do a nice party on, or a nice event, you might want to do, your wedding ceremony, or even your reception on a yacht. We want to be, that one Black company that you come to have access to those things. Private jet when you're in town for Super Bowl and you want to get, chauffeured around, not just with a car, but a private jet, helicopter. We are indeed that company. So this is just one phase. We're adding a multitude of things to come in due time as we get other phases situated and going.
Also, one more thing you did bring up about the private jets and the yachts. You guys do weddings though, and proms with your cars, right?
Yes, we do. Prom season coming out. In fact, I know you're gonna put this on Instagram and everywhere else. The first 5 parents, because education I think is very, very instrumental, is important to the success of Black kids. It's not just about throwing a ball or bouncing a basketball. I think education is very important.
Most
Hence
important
what helped me, especially the situation I was in. So the first 5 parents to, contact us after watching this video, we will give you either a 50% discount on any of the vehicles available for prom. We haven't decided what vehicles those are yet, but once we do, you'll get a 50% discount. In fact, the first 2 parents will get free chauffeuring services for their child. All we need is, obviously, their grades. Hopefully they're at least at
I say B average.
B average, yeah. B average.
B plus, C
you get a
plus,
free
B
chauffeur
minus.
in a nice car. You and your girl to the prom. All right. So yeah.
Or you and your guy. If you a girl, who knows?
Oh yeah. We don't discriminate. I'm a heterosexual. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But yeah. So first 2 parents got it free chauffeuring services guaranteed. So we do proms, we do weddings. We actually just did a really, really dope wedding last week. So we got a lot of promo stuff coming out for that stuff. But we do chauffeuring services as well too.
That's dope. And let's let the people know what car we in today, because we riding around and the visual is really, really cool. What vehicle is this we riding in?
All right, so this is a 2019, not X6, but it's actually called an M6, but people say X6 M Drive, but it's an M6 for those who know vehicles. So this is the AMG equivalent of a BMW vehicle. It is equipped with over 530 horsepower, so just because it's an SUV does not mean it will not whoop your ass. Forgive my language, it's gonna whoop your ass. I don't care what you got here. Talk to D-Will, he'll tell you the other night he proved it. I'm not gonna get the details, but yes.
And you also got 2 more cars, right? You got the 2 Huracans, is what it is?
Oh yes, so we got, actually, I'm gonna give you the exclusive. So actually, last week while I was out of town, shopping with my dealer, and we actually just added a really, really dope car. We actually added a 2019, not 18, not 17, or 16. We added 2019 Rolls Royce Dawn Drop, which is the Buckheads where everybody calls it. So yeah, we added a Dawn white with the baby blue interior. So look out for that in the springtime. It'll be available in upstate as well as New York and Jersey, hopefully more so upstate. But yeah, we do have the Huracan, and we do have Aventador, and Aventador is really for select customers that don't want to negotiate prices, because there is no negotiating prices with those type of cars.
Yeah. We all good. Ron Season TV, we out here.
Visual. Thank y'all, man.